Warriors, welcome to Warrior Wednesday. We are a week from tomorrow. A week from tomorrow is Thanksgiving. So if you're in the US, so exciting because we will be celebrating Thanksgiving next Thursday. And there's always an opportunity to be thankful. So it's not that in November is the time that we give thanks to other people and to ourselves and the gratitude that we get to be in. It's always going to be the energy of gratitude you get to be in all year round. So like I said, a week from tomorrow is Thanksgiving if you're in the US. So super excited about that. And I'm curious, how are you guys doing with your 14-day gratitude challenge from last week? So if you're on here live or if you're catching the replay, would love to hear what has opened up for you from being in that grateful space and what has opened up for others by giving gratitude to other people. So would love to hear from you if you're on here live or if you're catching the replay. So be sure to comment and all that good stuff. So one thing I want to say is today's the last day of Mercury retrograde. So it's awesome that we're almost done. Like today's like literally the last day. So if you don't know what that is, don't even worry about it. And it's so cool because we're quickly approaching Sagittarius season. So if you're a Sagittarius and you're in my circle, I'm super excited for you because I love fire energy. Fire energy is like such powerful energy. And so, and if you're a Sagittarius, say, I'm a Sagittarius because I love all my Sagittarius peeps and I love like fire energy around me. So, it's like, I want to see you. Okay. So let's do that. And if you're tuning on here live, say what's up and give me some hearts so I can see you. And if you're catching the replay, comment with hashtag replay so I can give you a shout out. And if you would like to access all of the content, and I do weekly Facebook Lives, Warrior Wednesday, you can go on my YouTube channel and subscribe and you will get access to all of the videos that I've created over the past, who knows, 5 years. But I've been doing Warrior Wednesday for the past a little over a year at this point. So yay, super excited about that. So if we haven't met yet, my name is Zena Solomon. And I'm here to inspire you and lead you in giving and reinventing yourself and also giving birth to your dreams so you can live a life and business by design versus a life and business by default. And in the process, be in alignment with your vision, values, passion, purpose, and also create possibility for yourself. So today we're speaking into triggers, and do you easily get triggered? And what prompted this conversation was several conversations I've had with my clients where we were discussing the distinction of reacting versus responding. So there is a difference and there is a distinction between being reactive versus responsive. So if you're on here, would love to hear from you and we can make this a little bit more interactive. And I am going to commit to have this be less than 10 minutes because I'm committed to having my content to be relatively short. But if you're on here or if you're catching the replay, would love to hear from you. Like, what is your interpretation of reactive versus responsive? What is reacting? What is responding? Okay. And I want to say that we're emotional beings. As humans, we are emotional beings. Like we get emotional. That's just how we are, how we're wired. And our emotions actually fluctuate and it shifts, it changes, it doesn't stay stagnant. And the average lifespan of an emotion, any emotion, the average lifespan, scientifically proven, it's about 90 seconds. So a minute and a half, guys. So if you have any emotion, whatever that is, if you stick with it for 90 seconds, a minute and a half, it'll just get outside of your body. Okay. And so my intention of putting this Facebook Live together is, first of all, we're in holiday season or approaching holiday season, and many people get triggered by many different things throughout this holiday season. So I wanted to be the light to shine your light so that we can spread light around the world and be in a space of not being triggered or easily triggered and find ways to work with that. Okay, so first of all, a trigger is it's a reminder of a past trauma. So that's the definition of a trigger. It's a reminder of a past trauma. And triggers can actually cause flashbacks. It depends on where you are and what kind of triggers or what kind of traumas you've had in the past. And my wish for you is that you didn't have any traumas, but I know people that have been through different types of trauma. So including myself, actually, I went through trauma myself in childhood growing up. So there are things that that trigger us, and the triggers often are associated with negative memory. It's never, in my experience, it's not positive. It's always negative, right? And so, so when you're being triggered, you're in a space of being reactive versus responsive because you're reacting to something versus taking a step back to respond. So going back to reactive, responsive. So reactive is like something happens, you get pissed off, or you get whatever emotion you associate with, and you react to it right there and then. And in my experience, when you are in a reactive state, it doesn't necessarily bode well, because when you react, I mean, you tell me, like, when you reacted to something, did something good come out of it? And if it did, I would love to hear it. And if it didn't, I also would love to hear it, right? So, want to hear about that. But when you're being responsive, it's like, first of all, responsive is being responsible. It is the ability to respond. So, response-able. So, you're being responsible and how you are interacting with something that has happened. So, I'll share a couple of quotes, and then I'll move into 5 steps for you to release that trigger that comes up for you. Okay, so first quote is by Bodhi Sanders in Martial Arts Wisdom, and he says, "When you react, you let others control you. When you respond, you are in control." So my wish for you is that you get to be in control. Okay, and then another quote by Robert too is, "You're always responsible for how you act, regardless of how you feel. Remember that." Okay, so the 5 steps for you to releasing your triggers is, number 1, you want to take responsibility. And actually that may trigger you, as a matter of fact, by me saying that may be a hard pill for you to swallow, is you are responsible for how you feel. So you want to notice whether you're being reactive or you're being responsive in that moment when you are being triggered. And you want to ask yourself, like, I'm responsible. You are responsible, right? So no one has the power to make you feel any specific way. You're actually choosing it. So that's something you get to be mindful of, because when you're aware of something, you're able to release it, right? So you take first step is you take responsibility. Second step is you want to connect with where this emotion that comes up for you, where does it lie in your body, and how does it make you feel, and where is it in your body physically, so that you can connect with it and choose to let it go. Number 3, connect with what triggered this emotion. So was it a past event? Was it a past experience? Was it a situation? Was it a person? So those are things. So connect with what caused it, like what triggered it. Okay. Number 4, you get to shift your emotional state. So what I mean by that is, motion creates emotion. So when you're moving your body, you are able to shift how you feel. Hey, Candace, so great to see you. So great to see you. All right. So when you are in an emotional state, you want to shift your body, because when you move your body, that shifts the energy. So when you're shifting your body, moving your body, you're shifting that energy, and that motion creates a new emotion. So that's what you get to do. Okay. And then finally, the final step is you get to commit to being present. Say, hey, Jeffrey, thanks for tuning in. So you get to commit to being present. So when you're being present, you're letting go of past and future, because if you're being triggered, it means you are connecting and holding on to something from the past, or you're projecting something in the future. You're not actually being present when you're being triggered, because you're holding on to something. You're holding on to a feeling, you're holding on to an emotion. But if you're committing to yourself to being present in the moment, there's nothing going on in the moment. You're being present. You're creating tranquility. You're creating peace. You're creating peace of mind, which many people I know want to create peace of mind. So that's that. So your mission for this week. Okay. Are you ready, people? Are you ready? Okay. So your mission for this week is you get to connect with what triggers you and share one way that you will use to release it. So what is one way that you're going to use, whether it's one of the 5 steps that I shared with you, or if it's a different way, I would love to hear what that way is, because we all want to learn from each other. And these ways are not necessarily, thanks, Candace. Yeah, move up right. Let's shake it, girl. Let's shake it. So these ways don't necessarily have to be, they're not all encompassing. Of course, we all have different techniques, tools, strategies, etc. So I'd love to hear from you what ways you have created to shift out of a trigger moment for yourself. Okay. So comment below to inspire others. That's my request of you. And be sure to tag people who get to hear this message and share the love, people, because we get to share the love. All right. So love you guys. See you next week. Same time, same station. Warrior Wednesday, 1 o'clock Pacific, 4 o'clock Eastern. All right, guys. Bye for now. See you later. Toodles.